Wrong one. Okay, well, happy April, everybody. Woo! Can you believe it's April? Crazy, crazy. Okay, so a couple of announcements before we jump into Miss Sherry that I know you guys are excited to hear from her. First of all, I forgot to say we didn't do Pink Power Sheets, Pink Power Days tonight because of all the other recognition. So turn in your Pink Power Day sheets tonight because I'm going to order the prizes. But if you don't have them tonight, then send me a picture. And my assistant literally I got an email that she just made the new one, so I'll post it on Facebook. Okay, so I wasn't able to print off tonight. Did you guys see the new key jewelry this month? Did you see? Okay, I didn't get to post it, but they are these gorgeous earrings. They're these really pretty earrings. And those of you that were at Deb's car party, Debbie got to see Deb Weir was wearing the earrings from this month. They're super duper duper cute. So how do you earn the key jewelry earrings? 600 wholesale. Who earned their key jewelry last month? Woo! Good job. That means you guys are on target for the consistency challenge of being able to earn that super cute bracelet for ordering 600 3 months in a row or 4 months in a row. Okay. The other thing is I want to make sure everybody knows that the Sisters promotion is still going on this month. It's for the next 3 months. Several people thought it was just last month, but it is for all the way until the end of June. You guys know what the Sisters promotion is, okay? Who signed up in March? You in the room signed up in March? Okay, I don't think you signed up in March. Okay, none of our March people are here. Well, okay, you need to make sure the March people know that they can recruit anybody they recruit, their first 3 team members gets $25 off. Pretty cool. One of my girls in Indiana already has used up all her 3. Isn't that crazy? Because yeah, she was excited about it. She just signed up for 3rd person today. So it gives them the vision of moving quick, which is awesome, and it's going to help you guys earn your cruise. So anybody that signs up this month, they get to give their first 3 team members $25 off. Got it? Did you guys see the flash sale?
Yes.
Did you guys see that? Oh my gosh. Awesome. First of all, Sad Hands. It's one of our biggest sellers. Number 2, it's for 15 days. What do we know about anytime they do a flash sale for a long time? I highly doubt that it'll last 15 days. So I would highly recommend if you would like to take advantage of, so it's Sad Hands with our most popular items at 60% off. 60% off. I know. So that means that we don't just make 50%, we make 60%, you guys, when you sell the product. And so you want to think like an entrepreneur, think like a businesswoman, and stock up, because that means you make more money. Instead of making whatever half of $17, you make whatever 60% is. I'm not gonna do the math. But yeah, you make around 20, 18, something like that. Anyways, it's the 1st to the 15th. I would highly recommend stocking up because they usually only have a certain number, like it's not like they're gonna run out of Satin Hands, but they have a limited number that they offer on that flash sale. So when they run out of that limited number, they're gone. And here's what I know about Mary Kay people. They're crazy. And whenever there are flash sales, everyone goes crazy, especially a product like this. So I would not miss out. Okay, there's that. And then, and the other thing along with that, we're not going to talk a lot about this tonight, but over the next few weeks and months, I'm sure we will, that there's a lot of stuff coming up. Like Kelly talked about how she made $500, just reaching out for Nurses Day and Administrative Day. That Satin Hands is a great gift to stock up on because you can be talking to people. Like I said, we're not going to talk a ton about tonight, but talking to people who have an administrative assistant or know a nurse and want to give them a gift or whatever, that it's an awesome gift that everybody loves. Okay. So that's another thing to kind of be thinking about. Those are coming up. You guys all know how to earn the cruise?
Oh yeah. Where's the tracker?
Yeah, we had a little craziness going on before. So we didn't get the tracker up. But you guys, there's 3 months left to earn that cruise. How many of y'all said January 1st, I want to earn the cruise? How many of you April 1st are like, I'm nowhere near the cruise? If that's you, guess what? It doesn't matter. We all can earn the cruise. Just like we said with Kelly and Roberta, it literally is a decision. It is a decision that you decide, I'm earning that cruise, dang it. There are people like the quickest earner someone earned it was in 2 weeks. There are 3 months. I would not recommend waiting the entire 3 months. Don't procrastinate, but you could literally earn it in this month if you make up your mind and make your decision. So 3 things. It's easy. It's easy, right? Earning a cruise is easy.
There's still balcony room.
There is, exactly. So there's still time to earn a balcony room. Who wants a balcony room? If you go on a cruise, what did you say? What? Wow, okay. So means this is the month, you guys, and when they're gone for the balcony, but of course anybody can go on the cruise. It's gonna be awesome. So there's that. What else we got going on?
Can I add something about the
Yes,
cruise
please do.
that we were just talking about today? Okay, so we have a directors meeting at my studio in Denver, and sometimes the IQs get to come. And the director meeting is for the directors to get together in the Rocky Mountain region to encourage one another, sharpen each other, and cheer ourselves on. Anyway, we need that just like you do. So our next director meeting is May 17th, which should be a Friday if I've got that date right. It's from 10 to 12:30. We have refreshments. It's $10. It's Mary Kay Business Professional, meaning you don't have to wear your red jacket or anything. But DIQs are invited. And let me just say, those who will be our guest speakers will be those who have finished the cruise. So if you're a DIQ and you're there and you have finished the cruise, then you will be speaking. And you'll get to speak to the other directors. You'll get to speak to the other DIQs to inspire, encourage them that they can still finish by June 30th. So, and so you're invited as a DIQ. So certainly by May 1, you want to be done with the cruise and you want to be a DIQ to be in with the big girls at our Denver director meeting.
So you have to finish the cruise qualifications to be invited to
No.
To be
DIQ to go.
Okay,
To
I heard
be-
both, but I was like,
to be one of the speakers.
speakers. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
DIQs are welcome, and any DIQs and directors who have finished the cruise will be the ones
Got it,
that will be speaking. It's a special thing to get to speak. Yes.
I'd be ever so presumptuous. May 17th is my birthday.
Oh, what a great way to celebrate.
Hey, I would love to.
Oh,
We would love to have
you. All right, you got a deadline. You got a deadline.
Can you imagine being sung happy birthday to by all the Rocky Mountain area
Yeah,
directors?
wouldn't that be
Yes,
awesome?
I can.
And our singing is led by Zishan.
Oh, yeah. Keep rolling her eyes.
I just wanted to say, Jessica and I worked an event on Saturday morning in the freezing, stinking but cold. I do. And we wore our captain's hat, and I wore it out in public. It is such a great marketing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna go out, freaking wear your hat, because people are gonna talk to you about it. And that right there gives you an in to speak to anybody and everybody, man, woman, child, whoever. So if you got your hat from Career Conference, start utilizing it. because
That's cool.
it is
Forget
like-
the pin, wear the
Yeah.
hat.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
because people are
No,
like,
it's great.
So-
Exactly. No, it's true. Well, but seriously, so the whole reason, if you guys didn't hear this, the whole reason that we did the hats for career conferences, because at $1 Million Weekend, Kristen Sharp wears her hat everywhere. The Debbie's wearing, she wears it everywhere. So Kristen Sharp can wear it everywhere. She's a national sales director. She didn't even get to earn the cruise, by the way. Nationals don't get to go. But it's just the promotion of she wants people talking to her and saying, why are you wearing a hat? Or ask her about the hat. And you say, oh, I'm earning a cruise, or you can earn a cruise with Mary Kay. You know, so if you guys are serious about doing it, I would highly recommend you wear that hat until you earn that cruise. I challenge you. Tanya Colbert just earned it, and yeah, and she did that too. She did not take her hat off until she won.
She won
And she won it, exactly. Like literally, she just took it off to sleep. And you guys, I'm serious. It's a cheesy thing, but it's your level of commitment. That how badly do you want it? Because people will come to you. They will, and here's the deal. Every time you put that on, you're reminding yourself that you're doing it, and that's the bigger thing. Because you've got to believe in yourself. You don't just sit around and wait for people to come to you. I'm not saying that, but I am saying it reminds you that you're doing this. And every time someone says, "Oh, Elizabeth, what is that hat about?" I'm earning a cruise. And even if you have 0 people in and 0 production in, you're claiming it. I'm earning a cruise. Does that make sense? That it reminds yourself more than anything that you're doing it. Make sense?
at career conference, I was wearing my hat. We were walking into the hotel. There were 2 guys sitting there. And he's like, I have to ask, what is up with this hat? And I said, I am earning a free cruise with Mary Kay. And I said, would you like to earn a free cruise too? And he goes, If they're giving away cruises, I'll sign up.
Yeah.
Literally anyone can come up to you and be
Yeah.
like, and they could be your next team member, they could be your next red jacket, that red jacket that urged you to cruise. So don't be
Yeah, they'll be brave. Mariah, would you introduce yourself real quick? Because I know who you are, but these lovely ladies around here may not know who you are. So
I'm Mariah.
Hi.
I'm a DIQ, but the other thing is to think about is
she's a DIQ.
if you earn the cruise, you only need 5 more people when you're a director. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
So for some people, it's easier to focus on the cruise or directors. What? No, not technically. not technically. She's been in and out of our meetings.
my director is Barb Lehman, and then my nationals.
Yeah. We're all jealous. Yeah.
The last 7 days, I decided to try to earn to go to Stacy's house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it just takes a decision.
Literally
Because
is.
I've been unmotivated for 2 years, and in 7 days I got requalified recruit.
Look at that.
And
Look what happens when you make a
Almost put
decision.
one to a red. So
Yeah.
I barely missed qualified.
It's a decision, but you're going
But
to
it was
now.
just a decision. So
Yeah. Exciting.
So
Literally, it's a decision. All right, the last thing, our last announcement, and then I'll shut up. And is okay. So I happened to post this, but I wanted to explain it because we're kind of competitive around here, right? Everyone's competitive in the room. So Tammy Bradford, my great friend, our husbands are like best friends. It's crazy. I was telling Sherry they like text all day long these little man jokes and laugh out loud. I can't tell you what's big in the bridge. Anyway, so whatever. So Tam, she lives up north, and she messaged me after Career Conference. Was like, "Oh, my girls love you, blah blah blah. We want to compete with you, so we want to have a competition with you to see who can get the most red jackets." So they challenged us to a competition to see who can get the most red jackets. So what? Well, I didn't tell her how we got 3 this week, so we're doing pretty dang good. I didn't tell her about that. But anyways, we'll keep those our ace in the sleeve. But anyways. I should. So basically, they challenged us. They want to take us down, and just see all in good fun. But to stretch all of our areas and our units to develop reds. And so we're gonna have a competition over the next 3 months. Well, the rest of the seminar year, so April, May, and June. The next 3 months to see whose unit can come up with the most reds. And whoever's unit loses buys. We're just all gonna go to lunch and celebrate, okay? So it's just a friendly competition and really bragging rights more than anything. But we just really want to encourage each other on. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, we're gonna bring my unit. So it's a fun, friendly competition to help all of us build reds. Those of you that are already in red, you need to just add 3 active team members and you count.
So are those of us who are not biological?
You count to come to the lunch, but not in our numbers.
Dang it.
Yeah. You count to come to the lunch though, because of course you get to celebrate with
So like
us.
when
I
I
know.
debut as DIQ next month and I add 5 new team members,
Yeah.
so 3 of them qualify,
That would count. Yes. But no, so you guys can definitely come. It's going to be a fun, friendly competition. But of course, I was looking at Angie to my numbers. That be cheating. But you still get to come to the lunch. We're going to celebrate and do something fun. So we haven't quite figured it out. But anyways, I wanted to explain that. So basically, we're going to be really focused on building reds. So tonight was a great kickoff to let's build a bunch of reds. Wouldn't it be exciting to have a sea of reds everywhere? And I truly believe that red jacket is super easy. It literally is a decision. You can decide like in a day, a week that you want to get into red. It's not hard to find 3 people who want to do this. So, all right. So that's it. Any other announcements? I think that is it. We are going to turn it over to the lovely Sherry Slapman.
Okay. Anybody remember what we talked about last week?
A lot.
What's like really coming to the forefront that you remember?
The circle of influence.
as opposed to
Going
the
out.
other option of going out and warm chatting. Yep. Okay. Anybody think about this week? I want to hear some thoughts. Just thought about it, yeah. Sherry?
Absolutely. So when I did my clothes and I got my two things and everything, I was so excited I did not, I didn't book a party, I didn't do any of the rest of it, I just,
You missed some of the circle,
I-
the full
I
circle.
got-
Yeah.
I didn't get full circle. So when I took the, when I delivered her package,
Yes.
I sat down with her and, I booked the follow-up and had the follow-up and I booked another one from the, two people that she had at her house. And I haven't called it, but just going back and saying here and just really talking about being a team and everything again. And I'd love to schedule the follow-up appointment. And so it really wasn't that hard. I thought, oh my gosh, I just took this lady for this chunk of change and now I'm gonna ask her to, but I talked to her about, I just want to make sure that doing everything for you that you wanted, and I know you're gonna love it, and you'd love to share with someone else. And she had wrote down like 5 people on that card, and so 2 of them. It
Awesome.
was not hard to ask.
But, and I'm only gonna put the but in to say, we know it's always easier to do it and get it done at class.
Right.
But I say kudos to you for going back in so quickly afterwards to do it, because even what you were saying, I think I heard you say that you were having a little bit of chatter in your brain about, I don't know about this, but you did it, you pushed through, you did it, and it all happened so quickly. That's the way it should be.
And then tied up for you.
That's awesome. Good for you. All right, good. And what were you gonna say?
I'm in Brianna's unit, and I technically been for 2 years. I got started again in January, Jumpstart. January, so one of my biggest things, I mean, everybody, warm chatting, you know, because I kind of ran out of my circle kind of quickly. I'm not from here, in my mind anyway.
Mhm.
So when you started talking, coming from you about how much you just don't like it. I tried warm chatting twice and just quit because I was just letting because I don't want to do this. So you doing that pushed me to kind of go out, find more of my circle. Like, okay, this is my circle in my mind. After you said that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try Facebook, and I'm like, okay, I know all these people. Like, okay, I don't even have you on Facebook, but I do know you from back home. I have people back home. I have people in other states I know from the Army, and so I started reaching out to people. I have 3 prospective parties right now because I did that. And it made me feel so much more confident that I can do it without. I don't have to. And I can still be where you are.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that. Good. Okay, anybody else? Yes.
So kind of along with what you said, I'm not from here originally, and I reached out to quite a few people, and I reached out to a coworker of mine from the hospital I used to work at, and she actually got me another Mary Kay client. And I had no idea, so.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Good to hear. Yes.
To piggyback off that, very similar, like one of the ladies that I've been talking to on Facebook, shared the video. She didn't even talk to Candace. She's like, oh, whatever, I'll figure it out. But I just decided to reach out to her and let her know of like, hey, this is a special for the end of the month. Like, you're going to get this makeup brush set, and it's really important that you sign up by the end of the month. And she wrote me back and goes, dang, girl, hook me up. And like, it's something you don't even really think about, but like I was touching on earlier, like you never know whose life you're going to change. So don't be selfish, just do it.
Yes. Absolutely right. Don't be selfish, because we're making it about ourselves and not them. So I'm really glad to hear these stories. So when you, okay, first of all, to back up a little bit, I just want to remind you all, I said, it's not that you can't warm chatter. I'm not saying that. So you remember that I said, I believe there's 2 things that trip up women in this business, and that is the money, honey, and when they don't feel like they're making any money, or they're just spending the money because they haven't had really the training and the help to know how to handle all that in our business. And then the warm chatting, because most people, They'll come in excited in this business, ready to do anything because there's so many things about this business to be excited about. And so they'll embrace it with, okay, yeah, I can do it. But it's really what they don't like. It scares the bejeebies out of them. And that's what I said about me. That's what I think I heard you saying. But we're going to do it because we're surrounded by all these people every week, and our director's saying we can do it, so we can do anything. But at some point, many will get tripped up by that and will not have the strength and the courage. And when you see people leaving this business, because we do, I'm not being negative, but we just know we do, it's usually something like that. They're tired of telling them, I can do this, and then feeling defeated. So take yourself out of that. I know that that is a vulnerable area for me, to have the sabotage and to be defeated. And so I just pulled myself out of it. And I had that help when I told you about that one director who told me, not what Mary Kay taught, but who said that they met somebody? You did, yeah. No, you did. It was your story. You said it was a coworker. Yeah. Okay, so when Mary Kay talks about the 3-foot rule, that is not warm chatter. That's the 3-foot. You're already there. You're already in front of her. You're already having dialogue with her about something, even if it's at the Macy's counter. And you've connected, so there's nothing wrong with that connection. But when we set out to do that warm chatter, as we learned last week, and I learned from people coming up to me at the end of the meeting, it's not what we love. And so we do have to go through a lot of sabotage in our brain that we have to fight through as we try to do it. And you could take that same anxiety and put it into picking up the phone or punching away on your computer on Facebook, reaching out to your circle. And tell me, those who did that, did you find it to be a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable? You still probably have some anxiety. But so remember, I kind of want to refresh this before I go on to what I'm going to share next. But remember, the amount of time and anxiety that you put into going out to warm chat and collect 15 names or 20 names and come home and get, how many bookings did you tell me you would get out of 20 names? 1 or 2. Zero. Did you say 0? 1 or 2. Okay, we'll just be positive here. 1 or 2. And then what do we have to go through to get those 1 or 2 to hold? A whole lot, because they don't know you. And if something else better comes along, it's not a big deal for them to cancel. Talk about my businesses.
Or it rains.
Yeah, or it rains. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened in Pueblo last night.
Okay. Whereas when it's people you know in some way from your circle, or even your customers have already done something with you before, they feel a little bit of reciprocal bonding with you. And they feel a little bit more guilty about following through. Would you agree with that? So you might have the same amount of time put into getting that recruit from your circle or that appointment, and that appointment from all the names you get. But I believe you're going to have less anxiety, less sabotage, and probably a little better result in the end. Okay? So I said in a Voxer message, I want to talk about then what do you say to your circle of influence?
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So a couple of you even talked about what you did. So what did you say?
One of my ones that is hopefully holding party Saturday, she holds, is actually someone I used to work with. I've been talking to her for a year.
Okay.
And I just kind of reached out to her and said, no, I know we haven't talked in a really long time, and that's half my fault. I said, but why don't we catch up? And then I just told her just a little bit, you know, I came now too, even though I still work before, and we both work in the car industry.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh my gosh, you do all of that? She's like, dude, you're amazing. Yes, let's hang out. Yes, let's have a party. So just
Perfect.
even hearing from me was, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And I never would have reached out to her.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to her over a year.
Okay. Good. Okay. So she didn't have a script. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with scripts. Scripts are good because I want to talk about that too. You just spoke from your heart. You just pushed through whatever might stop you, and you just said whatever. And I think that went beautiful. I think that was perfect. And when she said it's partly my fault, we haven't spoken a year, whatever. Here's what I want to remind you, because we also get that hang up in our brain about the gonna think I just call about Mary Kay. You know, that little voice in our head? And I only call them about Mary Kay. Well, at least you're calling them. And that's what you want to remind yourself. And if ever you have anybody say anything to you about that, you can nicely, very politely say that to them. You can say, well, you know what, Elizabeth? I'm so sorry you feel that way. I am thankful for my Mary Kay business because it has allowed me so many opportunities to connect with people we've lost touch with. Because I haven't heard from them, but I have my Mary Kay business to help break the ice, to reconnect. And it has been such a blast. If you change your mind, I would love to have us get together. Yes.
I had a friend do a party for me on Saturday, and I went back because I was figuring out how to rewind and recircle my stuff that I didn't do in the beginning of my business. And I sent her a picture of all of the referrals that she gave me that never booked with me and said, call these people. And so she had 4 people at her house. I gave her the names back that she had already given to me.
Okay.
And so
beautiful.
that was
Perfect.
something that
So perfect. So scripts are great, but what I want to tell you is just speak from your heart. And even if you fumble through it, even if you get done and go, oh, I should have said that different, I should have done this, it doesn't matter. You did something. So I'm going to tell you, as directors, we put on our big girl panties just like you do. We run into the same things of doubt, believing in ourselves, maybe at a different level. Yes, we're the director already, but even at our level, we run into it. So we have made no bones about saying, Candace doesn't make any bones about saying this, my strength is in the selling and hers is in the recruiting. We both know how to do both, but I have something more to bring to you in that area, and she has something more to bring to me. Now, I really wasn't asking her for that part, but it has kind of evolved where now she's going to do this little thing for me at my house with my customers. I now have to give my customers, we have a date, we have a time. I now have to get my customers there, and the whole purpose is to recruit. Now I know how to recruit. I've got a couple Bs. I have 7 in this year. That's not bad. I wouldn't mind finishing the B, or at least finishing Princess Court. But for whatever reason, I'm at a place where I'm feeling a little self-doubt about my abilities. So then the pressure of Candace, I feel like I need to come through. She's going to come all the way to my house. And so I'm thinking, okay, I need to get this invite ready. And I'm frozen. And I finally just had to send a message to my assistant that does this and said, just do something. I don't care which put together, just do something. I just got to do something. Because I want it to be perfect. I want to come up with the perfect name. All it is creative avoidance. So I can go through the same thing. I don't need a script. When it comes down to it, when you sit down and you need to do what you need to do, you really don't need a script. You just need your heart to fill it out, okay? Because we know, just to speak from our heart, we just have to push past, we just have to push through. And sometimes there is no magic pill. You can call your director. There's no magic pill. We've already told you, you already know. It's just, we just gotta push through. We gotta make, who said decision? I'm a big believer in that. We just gotta make that decision. And I will, under pressure, do or die, I will get this done. And it'll be important to me to get quality people there. So I usually, under these circumstances, will rise to the occasion I need to, and I will reach out to the ones that give me the biggest bejeebies. The ones that intimidate me the most. Those are the ones I kind of challenge myself for that. So it's just like a little side story here. I was telling her how, y'all know the name Judy Roman. Okay. So she was my adopted director. When I went into DIQ, my director moved to Chicago. Now, my director found a director for her unit, but she did not find a director for me. And she said, and I was her only DIQ. She said, you can call whoever you want. Well, okay. I really didn't know people. Now, I know how to make relationships and everything with these top directors and nationals now, but I did not know anybody. And I had heard of this name, Judy Roman. And what I heard was she was scary. She was very tough. But that's who I called. And I was always the top dog in our unit. And what I thought to myself was, oh, I'm going to go to this meeting. I'm not even going to be a top dog anymore. I'm not even going to be a top and I'm not going to be the queen of sales anymore. But that's where I went. Because that's where I had to go, challenge myself. So I challenge you to do that for yourself as well. It also keeps you accountable to always reach, what do I want to say? Reach up. I mean, invite people, meet people that intimidate you. Yeah, reach up. That
It stretches
intimidates you. Yeah. So you're getting sharp women. Okay, I got a little bit off course there. So what was I talking about? I was talking about script. I just want you to speak from your heart and reach out to them. I don't care if it's wrong. Just call it who you want to, because everyone's different. And there's going to be something in your heart that's different with each person that you need to say to that person. It's going to come to you to say, you know, I need to talk about this. Okay? Any questions on that piece? Okay, so I want to talk about, so that's where how you're going to, a little bit about how you're going to reach out to the circle of influence. We are going to talk about some dialogues I've used when I've reached out to people, just to give you some ideas, okay? But I first want to talk about the Diamond Hostess, because that is another missed opportunity. So how many of you have held skincare classes? Okay, and how many of you recall one that was like really good, really fun? Doesn't even have to be huge in sales, but it was really fun, nice. People got great customers out of it. Y'all have one of those? Okay, that hostess, has she been a hostess for you again?
My team member, one of her friends,
Okay.
one of the people that was there hosted another party at
Okay.
the same location.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing, if you recruit them, great. But the bottom line, you guys, now you can't get upset with me about this because I'm not a recruiter like her. But the truth is, not everybody is going to do this business. I believe you need customers. You need customers. I remember being told by a director one time, what are you doing with that many customers on your list? You don't need to be bothered with that many. Just recruit them. If you don't recruit them, don't worry about it. Whatever. No, you did not listen to her. Those customers are important because that is where your future business is, where your diamond hostesses are. That's your circle of influence. And as Lisa Matson would tell you, that's what keeps you off the streets. Warm chatting, right? So go to those people that have been a good hostess and call up and say, Elizabeth, I've been very honest with my people. I have to tell you that this big major goal in front of me, I have to hold 10 parties this month and I have no blindness on my books, meaning I don't have a single one. And so for me, I'll say, I'm the director, I need to show up with having done this. Okay, you can blame it on your director. Okay, and I'm going to say, I need. Oh,
You can anytime.
and then I'm going to just tell you. So I'm calling you because as I think about who my funnest hostesses are, it's you. You've had a party for me before. You have great friends. They're so much fun. I want you to be one of my hostesses again. In fact, I want you to be my diamond hostess. So you give her that title. Diamond hostess. Sometimes they say, what's a diamond hostess? Do y'all know what a diamond hostess is? They can be whatever you want. They can be, the diamond hostess is those who have a party for me 2 times a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Say whatever you want. My diamond hostess is those who have a party for me 3 times a year, and then they end up getting their product all year for free. Does that sound exciting to you? So how about we schedule a party, you're going to get whatever you're going to offer her, 50 for free when you party with me. Because I'm sure you're ready to reorder some things, right? So let's have a party. Let's get your friends together. Let's have a beauty experience. Something like that, okay? Now, and I think I talked about this quickly last week after everybody left and some of you hung around us to hear this, but you have them on the phone. I like the phone contact. But I've done this on the text too, or on Facebook messaging. And they're saying, yep, that sounds good. Let me check with my friend. Okay? And it's so easy to say, okay, sounds great. How many of us are really good about getting back with them to say, did you check with your friend? We usually forget. Let's be real. They forget, we forget. And sometimes it's not even forget so much as creative avoidance. We don't follow up because what did we have to do to build ourselves up to call her in the first place? Now I have to do this again because we don't like rejection. We learn how to deal with it. We learn how to handle it. We learn how to be tough girls. I mean, we just do because we dread if they're going to say no. We can't worry about that, but we know how to push past that. So to me, It's like, I do not want to deal with this. Okay? It's like when somebody doesn't want something, you say wrinkles to you. So I have to tell myself, I do not want to deal with this later. I got to get this done. So I kind of have this thing. I become relentless. We're going to close this. Okay? If you have that attitude, it'll get done. There will always be those that don't, that you'll have to go back in later. It's okay. There's always exceptions. But if you really think about what you're doing to manage your time efficiently, to work efficiently, to say, I got to get this done now, you can. And there's a pleasant way to do it, that pleasant persuasion. And so I have done texting for 45 minutes with somebody to get that booking. Okay? And the things you're going to say, who remembers some things I said last week? Yes.
It's like hypothetically, I have this date and this date. If you were to pick one, which one would you pick?
Mm-hmm.
And then they pick one and be like, awesome, I only have this time and this time available. So you may get more like a critical, like there's only a certain amount available.
Yep.
And they kind of want not to push them, but be like, this is a sense of urgency.
Yep.
Get them to make it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to make it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you say, heaven forbid something doesn't work out, then we can refigure it. But I want to get you in this book so it's your
Yes.
slot.
Exactly.
And then you make the pick collage too.
Yes.
Give it to her.
Very good. Exactly. And I tell them that I'm going to make you a flyer that you can use as a text, as a Facebook invite, and that when you got that in front of them, it's coming together. So I'll just tell you, I did a party on Saturday. She was supposed to have 6 new people there. She had 2 new people there. And then the other 3 are people that have been my customers forever. Okay. But that's always fun because they add to your sales. Okay. We like that part.
Because they already know what they like.
Yes, exactly. And they're your little cheerleaders out there. So when you're trying something like, oh, you're going to love this, it's like, you don't have to say anything. Okay, so the 2 that were there, one of them is, remember we played the Pass the Satin game, the game to book Apollo Facial. And you want to know something? I didn't play that game. First time I've missed that. But what happened is there was only one guest there to start. The second one was late. So I'm really kind of talking with her, even though the others are there. Now I'm telling you this because I believe real life experiences is what helps us to learn. And I'm imagining playing, I'm having a quick thought in my brain, playing this game with these other 3 that have already been here, done that. That was stupid thinking on my part. I had the little satin hand sitting there and I ignored it. Well, then by the time we got to the charcoal mask, here comes the other guest. I could have just, if it was in process, we could have done it, but I didn't. And even my hostess asked me about it later. So I did a little drawing in the end and gave it away, okay? So fortunately, when I got done and I was talking with them one-on-one, I talked with the first one about her follow facial, and I had to explain it. This is what we do. I'd like to schedule yours. Well, she's in the process of moving. Makes sense. I need to wait until she gets moved and settled down. I have it on my calendar when to follow up with her. Even a situation like that where she said she's willing and she wants to, you guys, we know ourselves. It's going to be hard. I've got to make sure it's on my calendar. It's important to follow those things up. But those things we can talk ourselves out of too. But she's very willing. So it's important that I make all the things I need to for me to follow up with her. Okay. Second one, she said, famous line, I don't have my calendar. I don't know when I could do it. So I said, so Danny, if hypothetically we were going to pick a date here, if you had your calendar, is there a day of the week that you would be choosing? Oh, I would pick a Saturday. I said, oh, okay, great. So is there a Saturday that you know without your calendar that you might have? No, I have no idea. So at that point I had to let it go. Now I deliver product. So it was the next day that I delivered the product. And, oh no, just before I finished with her, I said, when you go home, and I just made this up. I said, when you go home, check your calendar. I have the last 2 Saturdays of the month open. That's what I said to her. So I have them all open, but I wanted a couple weeks because I like to have 2 weeks, okay? I have the last 2 Saturdays. So when I delivered the product, I walked in the door and I said, Danny, did you have a chance to check your calendar? Because she was supposed to text me. Do you think she did? No. And she said, oh, I haven't looked yet. I need to go look. I just sit there. And she went and looked. And she came back and she said, the 27th or whatever it was, will be perfect. That was her words. I said, great. The meme is done. It's already sent to her, and she's got it. Okay. So you just have to be pleasantly persuasive. And those are the kinds of conversations I have with people on the phone or in the texting. So, okay, you need to check with your friends. But if you were going to pick the date that best works for you, what day of the week do you think you'd be choosing? Well, I probably like Mondays. Great. Just so you know, when you're checking with your friends, I have these 2 Mondays available. And if you were to pick one of those, is one of those better for you? And they'll usually say, every so often you'll get somebody who will resist that. They feel it and they know what you're doing and they don't want you selling them. Just like I did not want to be sold eyebrow pencils. Okay? And you let it go. But usually they're going to say, well, probably whatever. And even if they don't pick one, you can kind of help them and say, you know what? How about we pick this Monday? Why don't I pencil you in? You guys have heard that training. Why don't I pencil you in? Let me go ahead and make up the invite, show it to your friends. Because I have found that when we give them the firm date, the response is better than trying to ask what date works for you. We'll never get all the women we talk to agree on a date. Would you agree with that? And I have some fun with that. And they say, you're right. So I'm pleasantly bringing her into how we're going to pick this date. Yes.
So, I'm sorry, I was texting while you're in, but I was sending a Diamond Hostess one, and my best party I've ever had with my old husband. She said, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Let me get the girls together.
Oh my word.
Love it.
Yay. Thank you, Sherry. That's one of those times I'm glad that you're back there and multitasking.
Only time, only excuse. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. So it makes people feel,
Right.
yeah.
And it can be whatever you want it to be.
Well, and that's why I said that, because you use that phrase with them, it makes them feel special. Like on my invite for Candace, one of the words that I use, one of the words I use is private. Exclusive. Okay. So, and that's one of the, and I have to tell you though, that's one of the things I can get hung up on, trying to find everything, I want everything to be perfect. You heard us tell you, don't wait for all the lights to be green. We have to fight through the same things where we have that area that we're not as confident or don't feel as confident. So we do too, but that's why we're here. You guys can applaud yourself for being here because this is how we sharpen one another. And that's why I say you guys have been a blessing to me being here because it's sharpened me. And of course, being in the space of her, this lovely lady, has been a blessing as well and has sharpened me. But even you guys, what I learned from you and when I watch you guys, how you're just taking it all in and learning. So, okay, anything else on that? Yes.
I just wanted to share something because just kind of touching on that, you don't want to put all eggs in one basket kind of thing. Just this weekend, I had 2 people that I was working on signing up. One was like a yes, yes, yes all weekend. And then last night it was a no. And the one person that I really didn't think was going to be a yes ended up being a yes. So what I've been trying to do is I give people an option. Like, this is my goal. I need your help in one of these ways. Would you buy something? Would you hold a party? Or would you watch this video? And that way it gives them the opportunity to think, okay, what do I have time for? Do I have time for a party? Or do I have 20 minutes? Or do I just want to buy something first? Or she shuts up.
Yeah.
Love them because they'll want you to shut up and they'll do something on your goal list because they want to help you out, but they also want to shut you up.
Yeah.
So just, I don't know, it's just something that I've kind of noticed that's helped me with my bookings. And especially like people watching the video, that they don't necessarily have the time right now to host a party. They at least have 20 minutes to watch a video for me. So it just, and then you get all aspects of the business.
So that's absolutely right. And so that also makes me think of one of the things I do because I have such a big customer base, but you can do this with a small customer base or all the people in your circle, is when I really want to start reaching out to somebody for the customer service sales, a sale, a promotion, an event like this, I will send it out in an email blast, put it on my Facebook, so that it's out there. It's working for me because I might not be able to call all 375 people. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go through and select who I think are the ones I should call first, right? We're going to make that decision in our head. But what I got, because I sent it out in an email blast, I put it on Facebook, I've got it out in front of everybody, it's working for me. So if there's somebody I don't call and they see it and say, oh, I'm interested, and I hear from them, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, kind of what you just said, oh my gosh, I probably wouldn't have called this person.
Yeah.
But because I put it out there, it was working for me, and I heard from them. And yes, it's a lesson like, oh, I wouldn't have called this person.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you have a bigger customer base, I'm calling in like in a week's a span or something. I'm going to do the best I can to think, who am I going to zero in on first? That's all you can do. But I can at least get it out in front of everybody. So that's what I like to do. But I believe you can do that with your circle too. And then start calling one by one. I'll start texting them. I like to call so they hear my voice. I like to keep it short. On my voicemail, that's hard for me, but I do. I try to, because it's got to be short. I'm lucky if they even listen to it. But then, if I didn't get them, then I follow up with an immediate text. I say, I will send you a text as well. And I'll send the text, and I'll say, I left you a detailed message, or I left you more information on my voicemail to you. Hopefully prompting them to listen. I want them to hear my voice. I want them to hear my excitement. But then, okay, I'll text. Because we know they won't answer the phone, but they'll reply to your text.
Yep.
Makes us nuts, but that's the way business is these days, right?
Yep.
Okay, any questions on that? Or the diamond houses, yes.
When you send out a text message after you call them, do you ask them a question? Like in your text message?
It just depends. Sometimes I just tell them, listen to my voicemail. And then if I didn't hear from them, then I'll put the detail in my text of what I want them to respond to. Okay? I'm gonna look at my notes here on what I said about the diamond hostess that I wanted to tell you guys about. Anyway, so just get people excited about being a diamond hostess for you. It's a way to get your product free all year. Even if it's just a couple times a year, why not? And remember, people's circle change every 3 months. So when they try to tell you, you already know all my friends, or I don't have any friends, that's fine. In 3 months, they'll have friends. Or they'll have a new circle.
friends.
Okay? And there's ways to push past that too, and that's just to talk about, let me help you. I know you said you have no friends, but I've seen you on Facebook. Or I know you said you have no friends, but I'm sure you do. Have some fun with it. I know you do. I know you know other women with skin. Let me help you. Now, that magazine that comes in our starter kit, what's it called?
Start something beautiful.
Yeah. Somewhere in there, one of the pages in there, somewhere in there is a page that guides that new consultant to think of all the people that she can ask for her first party or ask to do a party for. I don't remember where it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Who's looked at that book? Okay. But there's a page in there and it gives you the ideas, the pastor's wife, the moms of my children in soccer, but it'll lay out all these ideas. Have that ready to go with them. How about, you might know something about them. You might know that they have kids in sports. How about your little girl's teammates' moms? Or how about your little girl's best friend? How about her mom? But you can be the one to suggest and help her and say, all you need is 3 people. Of course you can have more, but all you need is 3 people. So you're going to keep pleasantly bringing her along with the ideas. We often quickly want to stop when they give you that first rejection. Oh, I need to check with my friends. Oh, I don't know if this is I don't know if I have enough friends, okay? We want to be shut down by that and say, okay, we'll just do that. Some of us more than others, depending on where we are with our confidence and our belief. And there's ways to pleasantly persuade. Gloria Mayfield Banks would call it push, pull, push, pull. And that push is really not a push, but it might be, Elizabeth, hypothetically, if you were to do this, what day of the week? That's a push, guys. You pull back by, it might be by just letting her say, or if she says something and you're like, whatever, I want to do whatever works best for you. But what if you were to pick a day? Okay? Do y'all feel like you could do that? Okay, yes.
What do you do when I've come up against where women do not want to give me referrals, even if I try to play the referral game?
Yes.
or, you know, they're like, I don't feel comfortable giving you her number. And then I say, all right, well, we'll think of those women and invite them to a party. And I still feel like that they don't want to share with their friends.
So like writing down names for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't do that. Okay, I don't want chatter. I don't play the referral game. I'm not saying that's good or bad. That's just me, okay? I'm probably missing out, okay? Because when I watch other directors do this, I think, I can do that, but I don't, okay? And I think it's because, I don't know why it is. I just don't. But I will say, as I've heard you guys talk about a couple things, when somebody threw the pencil, I'm not going to do this. Who had that? Okay.
Pencil.
When that happens, it's like, not a problem. Remember Mary Kay said great to everything. When you learn to say great to everything, it helps you to not feel so, ugh. Because when they do that, don't you feel like, you just feel bad? We just go through that. You don't need to. You just say, great, not a problem. You don't need to do this. This is just if you want to share what you're enjoying tonight with some of your friends. Yes.
I would recommend getting people from other states, or if you can get someone from another state to join your team, how does that work?
Join your team. Just, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can have a Skype appointment with them. You can have a phone call with them. You can share with them a video. I think you guys you have a video of you, right? Share with them your video. Probably your director can help with that. That's another area I admit I don't do. I've not done the long distance appointments. So I would ask your director. So did that help some? But I think you also have people that are just sitting there, just kind of resisting or not doing anything.
Yeah.
You guys, you've heard me talk about this in the closed sheet training. I like to address the objection up front. It's not being negative. It's just saying, okay, here, we're going to play this game. And then if you tell them whoever gets the most names gets a free gift. I don't know what it is y'all do, okay? And if you see that person, looking like they're having a problem with this and feeling uncomfortable, I want to put them at ease very quickly. I don't want to just ignore that because everybody else is playing and they're not. And, this can make people weird because they're not playing. They don't want to play. That's their choice. That's their decision. But they can actually build up some anger inside because everybody else is. And I look bad. They don't want to look bad. We don't want to look bad.
No, I'm going
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to quickly address that and say, you know what? If you're not comfortable with this, it's okay. And just like I said earlier, this is just something, if you want to share it with some of your friends because you're having a good time today, great. We're going to do something fun with it. But if you don't, it is okay. I understand completely. Okay? This is another little diversion, but it kind of speaks to what I'm talking about, making everybody feel comfortable. Anybody have a check bounce on you from a customer? Okay, I don't think it happens too much in Mary Kay from what I've heard, but it happens.
3 times a week.
Okay, or a credit card decline. Okay,
Yes.
Anybody have problems getting it resolved? In other words,
Yes.
getting somebody to come through and pay you. Anybody currently owed something by somebody a while that they should have paid? Okay, 2 things. I say, in the whole scheme of things, I can probably say I have had to write off in my 25 years of business, maybe $100.
Wow.
Okay, so I've had people take a long time to pay me when there was more checks and, hardly anybody does checks anymore. But I am the kind of person that sends the product out and puts an envelope in there and they can send me back the check. So I trust them. It's a win-win. I trust them and they honor that and pay me. And they know that. But when I've had somebody that I've had to kind of hound them, I make sure I nicely hound them. I make sure I write them notes and say, this is just a courtesy reminder. I've enclosed an envelope for your convenience. I've done that for 6 months. I want to give them plenty of space. Now, sometimes at some point I'm going to say, times might be hard and you might be struggling right now. I'm not sure what the issue is. If you need to make payments, that's fine. And if you need me to write this off, I will do that. Just let me know. And it's being so nice that they, on the other end, feel like, oh my gosh, she is so nice. I need to take care of this. Kill them with kindness. But here's the other thing I believe. Anybody currently or ever gone through hardship, tough times financially, and anybody had to take longer to pay a bill than you wanted, or even embarrassed. I told you last week, we have lost everything. So I want to give them plenty of space and plenty of comfort to know, okay, if it took you 6 months, that's fine. I still want them to be comfortable to come back to me, because we all hit tough times. Yeah. And they do. I think every customer I've had customers that had to take a long time, they were embarrassed, but they will come back and order from me. Sometimes they take a little longer. They never say a word about it, and I don't either. We just act like it didn't happen. If it was going to be a repeat offense, you're going to notice that, right? That's not what happened. And so I have to chalk it up that they had a tough time. Who am I to say anything? Who am I to judge that? I've certainly been through that and appreciated people who worked with me. So I believe in these things where I see there could be some discomfort, and I want to release some of it. So remember when I talked about when we get to the end, this is my favorite part. This is where we get to tell you how you can have it all. And before we get started, we say, okay, everybody close your eyes and touch your face. Okay? Now, if you ever did something on half face, like I used to do half face with the day solution, the day solution, I would say, who notices the difference? And not everybody will, or not everybody wants to say so, okay? And so you could be sitting there with 6 women and nobody's saying a word. So I'm gonna say, okay, does anybody notice the difference? Tell me if you do. And I will quickly say, it's all right if you don't. Not everybody does. But if you do, let me know. And then invariably someone will say, well, I do. And sometimes I've heard someone say, I don't, right? And their heart and their arms are folded, right? And that's okay. But by the time somebody else says, you know, I do, then the other one's going, well, you know what? I do too. Okay, that's just how we are. That's what'll happen. But I let them off the hook. It's okay. So it's okay if they don't want to give you names. Let them know that so they don't get angry. Because you want them on your side when you sit down with them one-on-one. You want them comfortable with you. And the class, have you had the class with the heckler? Okay. What does that do to you?
She tries to break it down.
Right. But what do you feel like when you get that? Everyone's made up different. Because some people are intimidated like crazy by that heckler. They don't know what to do, or they're shook up, and it kind of ruins them for the rest of the party. So who's had experience with the heckler? Okay. I want to know, how many of you make them your challenge to love you by the end of the party? That's exactly what you do. They just want attention. So fine, give them some attention. Give it back to them.
Still a challenge. I was next door to her.
And that's going to happen. But you go much further with them, and you get much further with them when you just love them where they're at and bring them along. And by the end of the class, that's what I want. I want their arms unfolded, and we're having a good time. Yes.
So I have, speaking of heckler kind of situation, what advice would you give if you have somebody that wants your product but tells you that they have already either purchased recently or have some that they want to finish up using? How do you not let that slip through the cracks? Or do you just?
I did a number of things. I asked them, maybe, hopefully we've already talked about, did you like what you tried today? And they love the way their face feels. And so they're finishing up something I'm going to say to them. When that product is done, are you ready to get started with the Mary Kay Time-Wise 3D set? Oh yes, I love it, but I just want to use that up. Okay, great, not a problem. You tell me when is a good time for me to follow up with you. And
What I'm
depending,
hearing is just the confidence in everything. I hear you just being confident with whatever objection. Great. When would be best for you?
Yes.
Great. What would work best for you? Because what I'm hearing is anybody can throw anything out there, and you can say, okay, and go the other way, or you can sit up straight, stand up straight, and say, Right, I totally understand what would work best for you.
Embrace it.
And have a next step. I think that's the
Exactly.
big thing is
And
shift
the-
has the next thing.
that's right. And you will get the confidence for what that next step is by just doing, by keep pleasantly persuading, keep pleasantly pushing in, keep asking questions to tell me more. Okay? You just got to keep at it and not walk away at that first roadblock. Just like when I say the third 3 reasons, you got to get to the third reason. That's only going to come from you asking the questions or pressing in, gently pressing in to get to that third reason. And the same thing works in any of these things. So it's not necessarily a script, it's just speaking from your heart, caring about that person. You want an ultimate end result, of course you do. But when your heart is right, you also want to do for them. And you want to be there for them, and you want to service them, and you want to give them what you know is the best. Mary Kay, you know they're going to love this Time-Wise 3D, right? And sometimes it's a matter of, you know what, it's going to be a couple weeks, or it's going to be about 3 weeks. Great. How about we schedule your follow-up facial, and that's where you can earn your products for free. And that's actually what we did with my hostess that I stopped by her house. She got something for her daughter, a skincare, but she did not buy the skincare for herself because she's going through a divorce. She needed to pay rent, you know. I get it. I understand what she's saying. And I tried. I did do some pleasant pushing in to get her to get started today with even the basic. But anyway, she said, no, I think I need to wait. And then I said, let's schedule your party and you can earn it for free. So who had their hand up? Oh.
I had a question more about like what you do is pretty much no one in the party likes the 3D. Like I've had been shot down several times by haircut.
When you say several times, I want you to tell me 3 times. 3 classes?
Yes.
Every class.
There was 2 in one.
Okay, and they all said, I don't like this. What did they say they didn't like about it?
I'm too greasy, it's too dry, makes my face look weird, I feel weird.
Okay, did you do foundation? Do you
Because
just
I
get
only have
skincare?
a CC cream, and I personally, I don't like the CC cream.
Okay,
So,
just a little side note, that does not matter.
okay.
What you
I
guys like and don't
the
like.
way it
Yeah.
feels on my-
But
and
that's
I've
you.
had to move from the 3D to the
Mhm.
mechanical line more,
Yeah,
because I was breaking, I have to work out when I was in my 20s.
okay. So I'm gonna just quickly tap into that, because this is important, okay? It doesn't matter what we like or don't like. I mean, if you love overall the company and you love overall the product, of course there's gonna be a product that you don't care for, okay? I don't care for cream powder. It's not one of my things I talk about a lot anyway, but when all else is failing in our foundations, I know how to sell the cream powder. I told you before, I don't like Journey, but when Journey was in, it was big, I knew how to sell Journey, okay? Because we're all different, okay? So we, especially when it's a main piece of our line, you might be choosing another foundation, but if that's what you're working with, the CC cream, it's almost like judging the book by its cover. It's almost like deciding nobody's gonna wanna buy a Queen of Everything for $500.
Well, a lot of my friends don't wear makeup, like they just don't. So even pushing, like, for the past 10 years, mostly all I've used is
Uh-huh.
like coconut oil.
So remind me to come back to that. I'm going to talk to you about the person that doesn't like the foundation. But let's go back to your people that don't like the Time-Wise 3D. Okay? So I'm going to say to you, do you remember, did you put them on the pink formula or the purple? Use pink.
Yes.
And why did you choose pink?
Combination, they were older.
Okay. So this is good that you're asking questions and you're telling us this. Because they don't need pink. This is me, okay? You might have something different from your director, but I'm just gonna tell you this is me. If somebody hasn't used skincare before, they're just a soap and water person or grocery store skincare person, I don't care what they said on their profile card, I'm giving them purple. Okay? If they've been using Pond's and they tell you their skin is dry, I'm gonna give them purple. Okay? Pond's, if your face is used to Pond's, it probably needs to get a little dehydrated. Okay? And here's the reason I'm gonna go with purple, is because it's safer, it's easier to adjust them from purple to pink than from pink to purple. And that's one good example. Now, we don't know for sure, but I would bet you anything that they had the, well, I don't want to say anything, because you can also have those people that don't want to buy the eyebrow pencil. You don't want to be sold, okay? I don't think they would have felt greasy. Also, remember how we've discussed here, I am now starting to use, for the day cream, I'm using the day cream without SPF. Okay, that's important because it's not as heavy and people don't have the problem with feeling greasy. So purple, if they go home with purple and you check in with them on your 2+2+2 and you say, how's it going? Well, you know, I really like it, but I'm feeling kind of dry. They're gonna tell you that because you're checking in with them, but they're gonna tell you that. They're not gonna have a problem telling you that. And you're gonna say, great, not a problem. Let's talk about this. You find out from them what they're doing in their regimen. You have them tell you. Don't say to them, are you doing this and doing this and doing this? You say, yes. You say, tell me exactly what are you doing in the morning? Well, in the morning, I want to do this. And you just say, okay. Okay, now tell me exactly what you're doing at night. And they tell you, okay. And then you go from there. First of all, make sure that they're using all the steps the way they're supposed to. And second of all, then you can say from that point, let's change your regimen. Sounds to me like possibly we need to do this. Or if they haven't been doing the exfoliating step or something with exfoliating, that's why they can feel dry. Because remember, the dead skin's on the surface of your skin. When you put on your moisturizer, that is what's absorbing the moisturizer, so your new skin isn't even getting it. And so they feel dry. So get rid of that dead skin first. Let's see how your skin feels. Then we'll adjust and tweak the formula. So I say, if they are friends, are you new? Yeah. Okay, easy. Go back to them and say, I would love an opportunity to redeem myself with you. Thank you so much for doing the first party. I am learning a whole lot more about this amazing skincare. You have to build it up. You have to be excited about it. You have to be passionate about it. And I have got to have you give me your opinion. Let's try this again. You can have fun with your friends. Give me a chance to redeem myself. Let's try this again. I need practice. And guess what? If you still think it's greasy, if you still don't like the way your face looks, I'm going to like knowing that. But you guys already helped me because I took it back. I got some more training, so now I need your help. So you've esteemed them and made them feel good because they were transparent. And then you draw them in to want to help you again and give their opinion, because what do women like to do?
Give their opinion.
Give their opinion. Does that help you? And start with the purple. And do you remember what most of them were using before, or a skincare?
No, most of them are like Dove and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, their skin is being dried out with soaps. Do you know when you use soaps, they cleanse and they dry. When you use facial bars, they cleanse and they soften. Now, this is what I say at my classes. I don't think I remember to say this to you guys. They cleanse and they soften. So which would you rather have? Cleanse and dry or cleanse and soften? And they answered it and they own it. Yes.
I just wanted to touch too that make sure that the skincare is drying completely on their face before you're going on to other steps. Otherwise, then it feels very heavy and cakey. And then use the translucent loose powder. I don't wear makeup during the day because I work with a bunch of guys and I don't care. And so what I do is I wash my face every morning and then I just do the translucent loose powder to get rid of that shine. And because I was the same way when I first started with the Miracle 3D set, I did not like it at first. But that translucent loose powder is a really good thing and it comes in your starter kit. So it's.
And the other thing that I see new consultants doing all the time, not saying you were doing this, Jamie, but they put way too much product on the tray. Way too much product on the tray. That you only need a tiny bit of that day cream. Like less is more, less is more, less is not is more.
So let's talk about that a minute, because I think I've talked about this one of the times on the close sheet. Remember how I showed you guys I passed the product for them to squirt? I don't worry about how much they're squirting, but partly because I've also been educating them along the way. So I'm going to take the eye cream and I'm going to squirt a little dot on my hand. I'm going to say, you're going to put this much eye cream on your tray and I'm going to pass it around. That kind of helps for them to see how much they're going to use. You will always have those that still put more. And when I see that going on, especially, that'll remind me and I'll say, because here's the deal. You're going to love Time Wise 3D and it's this and that, whatever. I'm going to say something else wonderful about it. And one of the things that we know as women, that sometimes we think more is better. When we hear it's going to make the wrinkles disappear, we think more is better. Right?
Uh-huh.
And it's not. So the nice thing about our skincare is you can make it last. It can be pennies a day to have younger, healthier, more beautiful skin. Another opportunity to say that. And you can just use a little bit and a sheer application will do what we want it to do. So those are things I say to them to educate them, to have them think about this. And then sometimes I'll have some fun. In fact, I do this a lot. I'll have some fun and say, in fact, I always can tell who my customers are going to be who's going to call me up and reorder quickly. Because there are those who will scoop it up, lather it on. And that's how I do it.
Yeah.
And I know, and usually there's somebody doing that. And they're laughing and they're giggling. And I know I'm going to hear from you a lot. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have your back because I'm going to tell you when I hear from you too much, I'm going to tell you you're using it too much. And then there are those who will just kind of go like this. And I know they're going to make it last. And I have some fun with that. But you see how much, what did I do with all that conversation? I really brought the emphasis to a little goes a long ways, teaching them that. Okay? Who raised their race?
I'm just wondering, do you only demo with purple lip?
No, it depends on the on what they told me about their skin.
Okay.
I'm not even looking at the profile card. They have filled that out. I never look at that profile card. I sit around the table and say, tell me who has oily skin. And tell me who has come up. And tell me who has dry. And usually they're saying something with it. They're putting some piece of information with that when they're raising their hand. Well, oily, but I have this, or this problem. I have dry skin, but I have this, or this problem. That is enough for me to say what I'm going to do. Okay, you're going to use this, you're going to use this. Okay? And if they say, and plus, if I learn that their skincare regimen is a decent regimen, I'm probably going to go with what they say. Dry, I'm going to give them dry. Okay? But if they're coming from soap and water, or they're coming from ponds, or they're coming from Noxzema, I'm going to start with purple. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something else. If I have somebody who has really oily skin, and they have even some blemish issues, I am not an automatic person to go to Time Wise Repair or Clearproof or Botanicals. My main product we're going to focus on is going to be Time Wise 3D. Because if they've not been doing skincare in their life, and they're coming to me with really oily skin and blemish issues, it's going to be Time Wise. I want to get their skin being taken care of with quality skincare before I start putting them into something specific. Because it could be just getting on a good skincare like Time Wise 3D is all they needed. And if it helps, depending on what we see in results, if we need to make a change, then I'll shift to, you know what, we're gonna want to put you on Clearproof. Okay, remember I also talked about I don't start with Time Wise Repair. Same reason on the clothes, we need something to go. Okay, and so if I sometimes if that doesn't work, if they've not tried the other products, it's hard to get them to stick with you and come back. Okay, so start with that. They're going to be happy with it. And then when that moment comes where they're really happy with us and they're really loving the product, they're going to say, I've been noticing in your book, what's this Time Wise Repair? And then you can step them into the next product easier. What were you going to say?
One thing that my first queen of everything, she said, well, it seems like a little too heavy. And we got off and started talking about something else.
Yeah.
And when she put the foundation primer on, she said, oh, no, that feels really good. So I don't know if it was the time lapse, just letting it sit, or it was putting the foundation primer in. But she's like, oh, I really, really like the way that feels. And I don't know if it's a combination of the two. I mean, of the little bit of time that we got talking about something else before she put the primer on, or just putting the primer on after made it so it didn't feel
I actually put the primer on afterwards because I have super oily skin and that helps me. You actually recommended that to me. and it helped
You
me
put the
so much.
foundation primer on
Yeah, I
after your
won't
foundation?
No, I won't even wear foundation. I'll
She
just
just
put
wears
on.
it instead of foundation.
Yeah, I'll just wear that.
Okay,
Did you already address the foundation thing?
no, and I want to, can I do that real
Yeah,
quick?
do it.
Okay, so it doesn't actually happen very often. I mean, I'll get people all the time who say I don't like foundation, but they're willing to try. But every so often you get the one that doesn't want to buy the eyebrow pencils, they don't like foundation. And they are really letting you know they want to try foundation. Do you know that in my 25 years, I've only had one person that I had to finally let them go off the hook and not make them try it. But when I've had the one that keeps saying, I don't like it, I'll say, you know what, Elizabeth? This is your day because today you're humoring me and we're going to try it. And you're going to give me your opinion. Sound good? They go with you. That's just like the heckler. That's all they are being is a heckler. So be one back. This is your day. And I instilled something. I gave her something by saying, and you're going to give me your opinion because I need to know what it is. And you empower them with it. So I think there's something to the way, don't be afraid of them. See, the thing is, when they see that, they know it. That's why you've got to stand up with confidence. Mary Kay says, fake it when you make it. That's when you're faking. You might be shaking in your boots because you have that heckler or because you're about to close with this close sheet for the first time. But that's when you have to push past. You have to let them see the confidence because women, they are the way they are. We're the way we are, but they want to follow a woman with confidence. That's what they want. And they want you to lead them there. We're all the same, even as children who need boundaries. We talk about that. I don't have children, but I can tell you this is what I hear from parents. They want those boundaries, right, Sean? I mean, they do. And so we do too. That's why you must give them a close to help them to know where to go. Okay, whatever it is, give them a close so they know what to do and they have to pass. So I say, when somebody doesn't like something or they tell me I don't do this, I don't do that, great, this is your day to humor me. Today it's about me. Depending on the group, I can even say that. Have some fun with it. Make it, and invite them in to have fun with you. Okay? Does that help? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you can go back to your friend and get them excited to let you try this again and help you to learn?
Yeah, they'll let me try it again.
Okay.
But they're still gonna get me. That's just their job.
Okay, it's just their job. And we've said this before. There will always be those people, and you just have to let them be the pain, let them move on, let them go on. We always say in this business, move past your best friends and your family as quickly as possible. Okay?
That's why the acquaintance in the circle is
Yes.
wise. Your friends can be a pain.
Yeah, your best friends, yeah, they can be.
Somebody said, and this was when I first started, someone said, you get a rejection, you get a no. Tell them, okay, I'm just learning. So would you tell me, what could I have said different if you would have said yes to? They're gonna tell you right away. I mean, and if you're like really being that honest and that confident and saying, what? Okay, so I'm just learning how to do this, and I'm still in training, blah, blah, blah. What could I have said differently if you would have said yes? They're gonna say nothing, I don't want. And they're gonna say, well, you were a little pushy, or just like, could you maybe stand up? And I thought that a lot. You know, Mary Kay, whoever you're doing it to, even if you don't really know much about, you know more than they know.
That's exactly right. There's a direct correlation. And that's what you have to know. You know more than they do. And they're going to embrace
But
what
you
you're
don't know
saying.
everything.
Exactly. But that's what they're going to look to you, and it's okay to say, I don't know, but I'm going to find that out. I'm so glad you brought that up. I mean, I do not know ingredients. There are certain ones I seem to learn after 25 years, but it's not my bailiwick. I mean, I've had consultants that that's what they're all about, not me. So when they want to know, do you have this, do you have that? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I can find out. So I just know that it is luxurious.
I have to tell you something really funny. So last night at our public facials, I was showing them the satin in a jar and letting them try it. And they've heard you talk about satin in a jar. and they couldn't find it on the ordering page. They literally thought that was the name of the product. And they're like, I looked everywhere and I could not find satin and jar. You never even say the real name. You just call it satin and jar.
I think I do one time. But yeah. And you all understand why, because you know how we're closing, and this collection does not have satin
Yeah.
and that and charcoal mask. Because if you say it does not have oil-free hydrating gel or intense moisturizing cream, your choice.
Blah, blah,
That
blah.
is boring.
Yeah.
But when you say satin in a jar, they're gonna like, I don't want to go home without satin in a jar. So in fact, my customer at the class Saturday, she did not do a collection. In fact, okay, this is all stuff I trained you on. She said, the one that was moving, she says, do you have a catalog? I did not have a beauty book on my deal, which is what I wanted to give her. So I had to pull out my lookbook. I hated that. I did not want anybody to see it, but I had to hand it to her. Fortunately, it went okay, because she came in and she was not, I said, what collection are you ready to go home with today? And she said, not a collection, but I do want to get started with the basic. And she went to the lookbook and she found the Miracle Set. Well, the 110 is not on the close sheet, right? Because we're doing foundation, foundation brush, foundation primer. And she will not wear foundation. Now, she tried it, but she will not wear it. So, okay, fine. Then in that case, you're going to want the Miracle Set. That was good. Then she bought a clear proof set for her boys. And then she added to it. And I gotta have that satin in a jar. And I gotta have that charcoal mask. And I gotta have that #1 makeup coloring remover stuff.
Yeah.
That was how she said it.
So she made her own collection.
She did. She ended up spending more than the Goddess on the Go, but not Princess of Quite a Lot, because she had 2 items for the Princess of Quite a Lot, right? But I gave her a roll-up. That's what I gave her. That was just a choice I made. Not the free of the Princess of Quite a Lot, because she didn't go to that level, but I did do that. And those are the things you can do. And it just does great for your relationships. So, yep, it was satin in a jar. She was like, I have that satin in a jar. I think everybody went home with satin in a jar that night.
What would you say really quickly? Because I had 2 ladies do facials that they loved satin in a jar so much that they wanted to buy that and send it to me.
I would say, great, but you must know this is added hydration. It's not all the hydration you need. It's added hydration because lack of hydration is the biggest age of our skin. You will be missing out on the anti-aging benefits. And I don't know about you, but I would not want to be without my anti-aging benefits. And that's what you're going to receive in your Time Life 3D Miracle Set. That's what I would say. Did that help, Candace?
That helped. It was for consultant.
Yep.
Yes.
And can I tell you also, we've been talking about this, but make sure you are your best customer.
Yes.
You should be able to at least Sapphire Star once a year on how much you buy for yourself. At least Sapphire Star. So sometimes I hear about, oh yeah, I just pulled this out and just pulled that out. Ladies, don't take time, get it pulled off and start trying it. And if it's not something that works for you, then make it part of your demo, what you're showing your customers. It's real easy. Illuminating drops. Here's a fun thing. It's a limited edition, but how many of you are using the illuminating drops? Good. You having fun with them?
I'm doing a spring bling facial, is what I'm calling them, so they can try the illuminating drops.
Nice.
So just a little
Yeah.
reason to get in front of your people.
And so now you guys have probably gotten creative with this. Me, when I start out, it's like I just do what I'm told. And then I start playing, right? And so then Abby told me last week, she puts it in her. So I think I told y'all, I do CC cream, spray with the finishing spray. Then I do foundation, spray. Then I do pressed powder, spray. Then I do all my color and loose powder, translucent, and then I spray. Okay? I challenge you all to try that.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
see what you
say that
think of
one
the
more time.
finish on your
Wait,
face.
say that
Okay.
again. You
So
start
well, let me finish. So the CC cream, I put the illuminating drops in my CC cream and put it all over my face. So now the illuminating drops all over my face. When you're in the sunlight, it shows it more.
Yeah, it is.
And then she told me about using it on the eyebrows. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here's what you do. You guys, you gotta try this. You will love the finish. When I first tried it, I love this, but on my days hanging around the house, I'm not going to do it. I cannot stand not doing it. Okay. So CC cream. Then spray with finishing spray. Then foundation, matte or luminous. I use luminous, even though I have oily skin. Spray. Then press powder with a powder brush. Okay? Then spray. Then I do my bronzer for my contour. I do all my color. I make sure I spray my eye area, okay, because I've already eyelids, okay. I just make sure that's really hit. But I spray, and then I do, now I forgot where I was at, but I do all my makeup and my translucent, and then I spray. So what do I get? 4 sprays?
So you do your translucent, you do all your color, translucent, and then finish.
Then my final spray.
How long do you give in between each sprays? Like how long do you let it sit for? Because I've had a problem with it
This
not.
one I can see it's dry, where I don't see it looking wet anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And here's what I want you to do. I want to hear from you on the Voxer. Did you like it? Was it any big deal to you? Are you gonna say, I loved it, but I ain't doing that every day? I mean, whatever you want to tell me, let's hear it. Okay, I want to hear this. Okay? And if you don't like, how many of you use CC cream anyway? See, I do not care for the CC cream, but I find my uses for it. I tried it so that I know and understand what people are loving about it. It's not for me. So that's the only way I would use it. Because I got my other foundation going on too. Okay? And y'all know to use your CC cream for your tanning. You don't want the self tanner. Yeah. So I have to tell you something. I did that. We were traveling and we were in the hot tub. And this is going to sound gross at first. But the bubbles are going and they all look dirty. And you're like, it's just my sister and I in here. What's going on here? And I'm thinking about this, but I realized it was all the CC cream. Anyway, that's funny. I'm glad to stop recording. Anyway, any questions? What was your big thing that helped you tonight? Would you believe I have more? Because I have more in my notes. But yes, anyway, any big questions or any big takeaway for you? Yes.
Okay, I never spoke before, but I really need your help. Okay, I got this, I sold last week, this weekend. But I have somebody coming up on a Wednesday, and then her grandfather's something is sick. I have